Hello, my life is wonderful. Why is this so low? Yeah, maybe I should attach my microphone. So I have seen, a lot of. I actually hate this. I have seen a lot of beautiful videos out there, actually, throughout my entire past, where people explain whether it is a doctor or personal people who explain about dissociative amnesia and dissociative identity disorder and all these kind of things. I live with severe dissociation where I actually leave my body and go into my mind, so I created this brand MelsMind to... I don't need to explain that. So here's my daily routine where I actually try to distract my body from a lot of things that remind me of... can you even hear me? Sorry. A lot of things that distract me from abusive pattern that I have learned, or my body has learned as a memory pattern throughout my past, which I never actually realized or recognized as such, which means I never realized that I have been abused. I am 33 years old now and quite a half. And approximately some years ago, I realized that... sorry, I have some animals in my tent. I realized that I was my entire life placed under severe conditions. I was living with a very intense, severe stalker and with a very, very narcissistic person in my family. I don't even want to say family because I do not have a family in my perception. I never had a family. I never had anyone to support me, nor treat me like I would belong or I would have any kind of value other than value in material or money. Therefore, I also have a very strange relation to money. Which doesn't mean that I cannot handle these kind of sources, but I just have a different kind of relation to it. And I do not see myself as some valuable treasure to other people, which I actually hate. To not drift off too much into this, I need to distract myself again, because there are so many things that remind me of my past. There are many things that remind me of very abusive patterns, so I try to go away into my mind. It is streaking hot in this tent. I live in a tent since 2 months approximately. Before that, I lived in my car because I had to run away from home. It is very intense. I sometimes need to try to get back into my body, to sense myself, to tell myself that I'm not anymore in this kind of situation, which is very, very difficult because my mind drifts off into memories, either in the past or in some possible future that doesn't actually exist. This means the mind goes into a past memory that doesn't actually happen anymore. But as we did not understand, I say we in this sense because the body keeps the memory and the mind keeps the memory, per se the brain, where I would say, we did not understand in the current time that we were living under severe abuse why this abuse happened. This means the mind goes constantly to the past to try to find out why this happened. And it is very, very difficult for the brain to process this because there are no answers, because there is no third party to answer to our question. And because there is no answer, it is very easy to get stuck in this memory of the past. And to get back out of this past, I need to, for example, as a direct coping mechanism, touch my body somewhere, to tell myself and even there are some things that I cannot do because I have learned them from very abusive people. Actually, that hurt. Wow. Yeah. So I need to, for example, touch my body somehow to tell myself to get back into the now, where I am back in my tent, and where I am recording this video to talk about this amnesia and the identity shifts, which could actually, if we are already talking about this identity shift, could explain how an identity shift happens. This means if the mind gets stuck in the past memory pattern, the mind gets stuck in this memory pattern, which means we take the memory from the past into our now, and then the body reacts the kind of way that was memorized within the past. Just a little disclaimer here, I am not a doctor, I'm not a scientist. I am experiencing this and living with this for 33 years. I'm simply sharing my experience on that. And I know for myself how to heal in some way, how to get out of these kind of memories or patterns. I also personally struggle a lot because it means actually I would need to break my pattern the entire time, which is also a part of my branding. I do not, if I can just briefly say this about myself, I do not like to live in the now because it's so troublesome, because I have lived with an intense stalker, more than one, and to live in the now, it makes my brain realize a lot of things that are in my surroundings that disturb my actual brain function, which doesn't mean that I'm sick or ill or something. It is just a very high sensitivity to a lot of things that are happening within the now, which makes my mind want to drift off again, either into the past to understand or into a possible future where I could be maybe tomorrow or the day after or in a week or in a month or in a year. And that doesn't necessarily mean that this future happens. It is simply to take my mind away somewhere where I would feel safe for the moment, where I am physically in the now, where I cannot support physically and brain functionally the now. Therefore, I would need to send my mind away into a different kind of time. And this is a very interesting phenomenon that a lot of people out there would just think like, okay, you're so weird, or you're not like this or like that. But I have to open a disclaimer there again to say that people do not live my life. You are not to judge how I feel and how I perceive and how I survive. I can also completely understand that there's a lot of people out there who have survived the same kind of or similarities in life, and they just have maybe the strength to stay forever in a kind of mindset that I simply cannot. Because, for example, if I go into my personal past, I was never allowed to be a singular person. I was never allowed to be the person I wanted to be, so I needed to change and change and change again. And again, this is not a recommendation for anyone to change the entire time because it's very troublesome. But this is something that has shaped my life also, and that my mind developed to save myself. And I do not like to go into the past. A lot of times this happens and I cannot avoid it. And it makes me feel very, very, very down. So I would rather like to think about a possible future, but as I am so self-aware at this current moment, it's for me impossible to think about a future, because for me a future does not exist yet, because I try to live in the now, in my physical self, and this is so intense and troublesome that I honestly would like to, disclaimer, leave my life every day I am in my physical self, because it's so strange, and it's like I have never known myself. It's like I have never been allowed to be myself, and everything just feels wrong, and I would like to cry right now, but I tell myself to stay strong, it's gonna be okay. Because I am so done being the victim, I'm so done being mistreated, I'm so done being looked at or regarded as some kind of. Because I am not, I am myself, and I know exactly what I know exactly what I feel, I know exactly what I think, and it is not my choice to make for you to believe whatever you want to believe and whatever you want to perceive from my perspective, because it is my perspective and not yours. And this is a simple awareness for narcissists out there. You're not gonna change me, you're never gonna change me. I am myself, and I do not belong to you. I am Mel, and I am Mel's mind. So break your pattern.